Today we're looking at the SH Figuarts Ultraman series Eleking from Ultra 7. Let's see if this figure is still up to par with modern releases. Taking a look at the sculpt, detail, and paint, I have to say I am completely impressed with this figure. This is one Showa looking figure. It looks like it stepped straight out of the show, which is super nice. Of course, this is, as I said, based on the Ultra 7 version, the original version of the characters. So this doesn't necessarily line up with the modern suit, but that, I think, is what really carries this figure. It's got all the wrinkles and the detail that's kind of on the character, but also from the suit. It's got all the black lining, I guess, or spots. I don't fully know what specifically to call it, or if there's like an actual like scientific term. If someone knows, please let me know. I would love to learn something new, even about these kaiju that I've been seeing for years. It's always nice to learn more, but it just looks really damn good. One thing that you can kind of tell with it, it's kind of got like this black wash kind of on it as well, and some parts kind of even, kind of not. I think it kind of looks more like battle damage, so it doesn't really bother me. Like, this kind of looks like he's already been wrestling with Ultra 7 a bit. And then down the back, move this tail out of the way. He's got this line, moves all the way down, and then he's got this kind of like dark stripe that goes all the way up to the tip of the tail as well. Very nice. And then it's kind of there in lines on the back of the tail. I should have started off with the head first, but hey, we're doing it last, I guess, in the neck. He looks super cool. We got a translucent mouth there. Very nice. The ear satellites, I believe these are just painted to look like they're translucent. I don't think they're actually translucent, but they could be translucent plastic. Just very nice looking. One thing I will say that's kind of odd with Eleking, but it is like the suit. The head is completely smooth, and then the rest of the body's got the rough texture. And then the tail kind of has like a mix of both, where it's still got the texture, but it's still smooth feeling as well. So very interesting design. But I mean, that's what you have with your Showa Kaiju. Starting the size comparisons off, here it is with the Shinko Hoseiho Ultraman 66. And on the right is the Tamashii Nations 2024 event exclusive Viridian Armor Ultraman Blazar. And he, obviously, both of them look pretty short next to one of the tallest kaiju in the Showa set. Of course, we're going to compare Eleking next to a gaggle of other Showa kaiju from the Ultraman series with Red King, King Joe, and Gomora. Looking very tall and mighty next to all three. Here's some Showa SH Monster Arts Godzilla kaiju for you to compare it to. We have the poster color 54 and Jet Jaguar. Here it is with the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 72 and Gigan 72. I'd just like to point out that the Monster Arts and Ultraman lines are actually mostly in scale with each other, as the Ultraman kaiju and Ultraman themselves normally run a little bit smaller, and the Godzilla kaiju, even in the Showa period, run a little bit larger. So these are actually really close to being on point. Going into the articulation on this figure, I have to say I am quite impressed. One of the coolest points of articulation is the antenna / ears here, which if you watch the show, these are always constantly moving, and they're not like symmetrical when they're turning. So they're normally, you know, something like this all the time. So it's really cool that those rotate. This top joint has quite a bit of range here. You can see it's got quite a bit. This bottom one's a little bit more limited, but you get some twists, you get some up and down. And then this one down here, the big old ball joint, this is where you get most of your range. Make it look like he's getting hit. You can make him look down, you can help him look up, or it, her, you know, whatever. So whatever Eleking may be. Although I think a lot of the times Eleking ends up being a she, because she has a kid in the later shows. So, you know, or a mother, because there's normally an egg, but, you know, that's a different Eleking. I don't know about this one. The arms rotate quite a bit, although I will say they did sculpt like a shoulder here, so this one actually has less range than this one, but I mean, you can still get it to move. It's still pretty soft. So they go out. Pretty nice. Twist and turn. There's no bicep, so there's like they kind of turn an angle a little bit, but not much. The elbows go up to about 90. Very nice. They flatten out. And then this kind of acts as like your swivel. so you can twist and turn. And then the wrists are on ball pegs, which, fun point to note, these do have a lineup point, so you kind of know where the neutral zone is. This top joint, ton of range, bottom joint. Now the bottom joint here actually, so the leg sleeves actually bump into it, so when the legs are flat, it gets a lot of range. Ton of range, but when these are like up, you'll lose it. You can see it bumps into it, so you got to be mindful of that. So just be careful. The hips are mostly crazy. See, once the belly's out of the way, the legs can go all the way out. Get it, Eleking to sit down. Kick back, not too much, but not too bad. There's a lot of butt there. And then technically the swivel's in there as well. So you twist and swivel. It's a little tight, as you can hear. A little squeaky. You got two elbow joints, two knee joints. Like that. And then you got a pretty minimal ankle. You get a little bit of pivot, but not the most. So it's kind of limited in that area. And then with this leg, mine likes to really gap out. So it's not, it's got the range, but you know, you kind of got to finagle it to get that, you know, seamless or more seamless look if you want. And then the tail here, well, you guys want to see a tail that articulates. This, I think Eleking came out around the same time, or no, it came out before the Godzilla 72. This thing's articulated, okay? If you guys have Monster at 72, you're basically doing that, but this tail is even longer. Like, look at that. And like, that's not even its full range either. If only Eleking could stand up like this. Yeah, it's crazy. All the way forward and around, like, huge tail, lots of range, done perfectly. It holds really well. Like you can get the Shin Godzilla tail pose, man. It's super cool, super nice. Very, very happy with the articulation range on Eleking. Taking a look at Eleking's one accessory, and it is a great accessory. At least it is the coiled up tail for capturing your Ultra men or women. Basically, the Ultra men are the only things that are going in here, or Ultra women, the Ultra people, which makes sense. It's about the only thing. I think there's a possibility you could maybe finagle Bolton in here. He's pretty thin, but I'm not for sure. But the detail on this is absolutely gorgeous. The patterning is still very nice. It looks good. It's got some weight to it, and it's really easy to add on. So you kind of look at your tail here. You look at this tail, and you just line up the pieces and the patterns on what makes sense. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections down. Grab your Eleking, pop it right off, pop it right in, and boom, you can capture any of the Ultramen or women, or Belial, I think can fit in here. No, he's probably too thick. He's too thick. Yeah, there it is, and it looks good. It's still heavy. I believe it's heavier than this tail because it's a solid piece, so you're not going to be able to pose Eleking up and have it last, but it still looks very, very nice. Of course, I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how to put your Ultraman in. I'm just showing the Shinko Hoseiho 66 because that's the only Showa Ultraman that I own currently at the time of filming. But as you can see, it just slides right in. Boom, bam, boom. You can kind of put the arms in different ways if you'd like or not. And there you go. There's Ultraman being captured. Of course, he can go deeper too, but you guys get the point. So my final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Eleking is, well, honestly, this is a no skip. If you are a SH Figuarts Ultraman collector and you still haven't picked this up, like me, I would recommend picking it up. There's plenty of places that should still have it. Amazon still has it if you want to go there. It's very available on Bai, Mandarake, Nin Games still has this. And I would definitely recommend picking this up because this is one of the coolest Showa kaiju, well, just kaiju in general. And the fact that it scales so well with the Ultraman line and the Monster It's Godzilla line is super cool. even if you're not a big Ultraman fan, if you just really want the kaiju, this is going to look really cool next to your other Showa kaiju. I mean, it looked awesome next to Gigan and Godzilla and Jet Jaguar. And there's going to be more Showa Godzilla kaiju coming. And there's still more Showa Ultraman kaiju coming. We have Birdon. Out of all of the kaiju to choose, they're releasing Birdon. Super, super cool. So I'm very excited to have this in my collection finally. And I'm glad I could do a review on it, even though it's really, really late. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and comment on this review. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Probably go check out a few videos first. And I'll see you guys in the next video.